Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Colonel David J. Stewart, Garrison Commander for Fort Belvoir, Virginia, welcome to the United States Army Garrison Fort Belvoir Change of Responsibility Ceremony. This morning, Command Sergeant Major Daniel Hopkins will relinquish responsibility of the United States Army Garrison Fort Belvoir to Command Sergeant Major Brandon Creel. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Colonel David J. Stewart, Commander, United States Army Garrison, Fort Belvoir. We would like to recognize several special guests attending today, including Ms. Fatima Malik, representing Congressman Jerry Conley. Virginia Delegate Paul Krysick, 16th District. Virginia Delegate Rosia Henson, 19th District. Ms. Nancy Jean-Louis, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army. Major General Trevor Brittingham, Commanding General, Joint Task Force, National Capital Region, and the United States Army Military District of Washington. Command Sergeant Major Fern Daly, Command Sergeant Major, Military District of Washington. Command Sergeant Major Tamisha Love, Command Sergeant Major, Income Sustainment Directorate. And Command Sergeant Major Gregory Betty, Command Sergeant Major of the Army Reserve. In addition to these esteemed guests, we are very pleased to have a number of fellow Command Sergeants Major, retired officers, and senior non-commissioned officers, as well as community leaders, family, and friends. We would also like to extend a special welcome to the members of the Garrison workforce who have joined us for this event. Thank you all for attending. At this time, we would like to recognize some special family members. Some of the children of Command Sergeant Major Hopkins. Ariel Hopkins and Ayala Hopkins could not be with us today, so the ushers are presenting a single flower to Miss Autumn Hopkins. And the coin is presented as thanks to Devin Christopher Hopkins and Declan Christopher Hopkins. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Chaplain Eddie Kimberly and the playing of the national anthem performed by the United States Army Brass Quintet.
Let us reverently bow our heads. Eternal Heavenly Father, we have gathered here this morning to honor a long-held military tradition of the Garrison changing of responsibility. We begin by thanking you for the leadership and discipline of Command Sergeant Major Hopkins. His commitment to the Fort Belvoir Garrison is a testimony of his loyalty and dedication to the office in which he is held. As he departs Fort Belvoir and arrives in Korea, we ask that you will continue to watch over he and his family as they press forward in excellence. We also thank you for the arrival of Command Sergeant Major Creel and his wife Mary and their 3 children to the Fort Belvoir family. As he shoulders the weight of responsibility given to him, equip him with the knowledge and aptitude for success. Help him during times of difficulty and give him the moral courage to always live the Army values. Is our prayer in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. be seated. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories over enemies, to honor comrades in arms, and celebrate special occasions. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. The Continental Army established the foundation by which our present-day ceremonies are performed, and today's ceremony is an enactment of an Army tradition that is 249 years old. It reaffirms the concept that the Army is perpetuated on time-honored values and traditions, and not on the accomplishments of individuals. Today, you will witness a small part of that tradition as the outgoing Command Sergeant Major relinquishes responsibility and the incoming Command Sergeant Major assumes responsibility of the United States Army Garrison, Fort Belvoir. The Non-Commissioned Officer Corps has always been the key link between the officers who provide intent and the soldiers and civilians who execute. In recognition of their central role in the success of the Garrison Command, Command Sergeant Major Reginald Smith, Headquarters Battalion Command Sergeant Major, will assist in the transfer of authority. The change of responsibility is a simple traditional ceremony that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The passing of the Garrison colors signifies the relinquishment of responsibility and authority from the outgoing to the incoming Garrison Command Sergeant Major. Order of relief of responsibility for Command Sergeant Major Hopkins. Having served faithfully with distinction, you're hereby relieved of your responsibility as the Garrison Command Sergeant Major, effective 9 May 2025. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion to the Garrison Command. Your leadership to the non-commissioned officers, soldiers, Department of the Army civilians, and sound advice to the officers of the Garrison Command has been of the highest quality. Having fulfilled your duties as the Garrison Command Sergeant Major with distinction and honor, it is with great respect and the utmost gratitude that we now pass those standards and responsibilities on to your successor. Change of responsibility order for Command Sergeant Major Brandon Creel. Let it be known that effective 9 May 2025, that you assume responsibility as the Garrison Command Sergeant Major, Fort Belvoir. The Garrison Commander places special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. Therefore, he hereby appoints you to the office of the Garrison Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Smith now passes the colors to Command Sergeant Major Hopkins, the outgoing Garrison Command Sergeant Major, in final deference of his authority and leadership. Command Sergeant Major Hopkins passes the Garrison colors to Colonel Stewart, signifying the relinquishment of his duties in gratitude for the opportunity to care for soldiers, families, and the Department of the Army civilians of the Fort Belvoir community. Colonel Stewart passes the Garrison colors to Command Sergeant Major Creel, the incoming Garrison Command Sergeant Major, charging him with the responsibility for the unit as its new Command Sergeant Major. Command Sergeant Major Creel passes the Garrison colors to Command Sergeant Major Smith, symbolizing his first official act with the garrison and solidifying his dedication and commitment to the soldiers, families, and Department of the Army civilians of the Garrison Command. Garrison Commander, Colonel David J. Stewart.
All right, good morning, and welcome to all the service members, civilians, families, retirees, and friends, as we are joined here today to congratulate Command Sergeant Major Hopkins and family for everything he has done for all who call Fort Belvoir home, and to welcome Command Sergeant Major Creel and family as they join the Eagle team. Also, thank you to the many community leaders that have joined us today as we value your partnership in support of service members and families here in the National Capital Region. I'd like to take a moment to give resounding thanks to the many special guests joining us this morning, including Major General Trevor Greencamp, Ms. Fatima Malik, Virginia Delegate Paul Kryzak, Virginia Delegate Rosia Henson, Ms. Nancy Jean-Louis, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Command Sergeant Major Greg Beatty, Command Sergeant Major Vern Daly, Command Sergeant Major Tamisha Love. And thanks to all who could not attend in person and are joining us virtually to honor these great soldiers and their families and for sharing in this time-honored tradition. Lastly, thanks to Chaplain Kinley for the invocation, the U.S. Army Brass Quintet, amazing as always, and Garrison Operations, PEO, and Headquarters Battalion for planning and executing today's ceremony. So let's give them a warm round of applause. So this time-honored event celebrates something that is rich with symbolism and heritage, the formal transition of responsibility from one senior non-commissioned officer to another. NCOs are the backbone of the Army as they uphold standards, discipline, and the welfare of soldiers. Today is bittersweet as we say goodbye to Command Sergeant Major Hopkins and welcome Command Sergeant Major Creel. First, we are here this morning to thank an exceptional leader. Command Sergeant Major Dan Hopkins created positive change across the garrison, and I thank him for his career and service to our nation as an Army paralegal, ranger, an outstanding enlisted leader. As Garrison Commander, I rely heavily on the Command Sergeant Major as he remains in daily contact with soldiers and families, maintaining the pulse of the installation. And I need someone exuding trust that can communicate with the Garrison workforce on how to improve and integrate installation support and services. This command partnership is crucial to the success of the mission by identifying and addressing issues quickly, all while building lasting relationships to serve all who live, work, and play on Fort Belvoir. And Dan thrived in these areas, remaining enthusiastically engaged from day one. The top enlisted position brings a lot of weight as soldiers' readiness and families' well-being hang in the balance, resting on the foundations that support quality of life. Dan was an exemplary steward of Army resources, accountability, and urging soldiers and civilians to keep advancing and keep growing personally and professionally to enable this readiness and well-being. I look over this audience filled with Command Sergeants Major who have developed relationships with Dan. It is a testament to his integrity that so many have joined us here today to see him off. He leaned into his role with confidence and with determination to assist every service member and family on the installation. Examples. Dan's talents were apparent when, as the Headquarters Battalion Command Sergeant Major, he was called on to serve as the interim Garrison Command Sergeant Major successfully, and then returned to the battalion where he continued to excel. He got his chance to shine once again as a the Garrison Command Sergeant Major when he assumed the post last September, never missing a beat. He hit the ground running, dedicated to improving the lives of all on Fort Belvoir. Whether it was the barracks, the BOSS program, child development centers, MWR events, or the menu of Garrison services resident on this installation, he led from the front, exemplifying excellence, striving every day to improve his foxhole. With pride in our mission and vision, he worked tirelessly to solve challenges while crafting ways to enhance systems and processes, focusing on efficiency and inspiring the team of teams. Another major project Command Sergeant Major Hopkins on his resume was oversight of the McRae Barracks renovations, enhancing quality of life for our single service members. He ensured that the service members' quarters offered the privacy and independence as well as the quality, and encouraged them to treat it as their own, a place that they could call home. As part of the command team, Command Sergeant Major Hopkins invested in the daily operations of running this small city. He was fully involved in the oversight of more than 2,000 privatized housing units, ensuring that when families were displaced for remediation or repairs, that the job was done right with minimum disruption to those family lives. The Garrison staff also benefited from his engagement in our IMCOM service campaign, strengthening team and peer recognition and supporting Operation Excellence. Command Sergeant Major Hopkins was the right Command Sergeant Major for the job. He was personable, he was caring, tenacious at his duties. And on behalf of the military families and the Garrison workforce, Dan, thank you to you and your family. My buddy, my senior advisor, my sounding board. We will miss you, we will miss you, we will miss you. So we wish you the best moments, we wish you great moments ahead as you begin a new chapter of leadership and career. Now, while we bid farewell to Command Sergeant Major Hopkins, we extend a warm welcome to the Creel family. Command Sergeant Major Creel is exactly the right leader to help us continue to provide first-class support to the warfighter and families during these challenging times. Command Sergeant Major Creel also hit the ground running, stepping up to the task enthusiastically as he engaged the team during his onboarding, already achieving results for the betterment of the mission and the organization. I also welcome his wife, Mary, who couldn't be here today, to the team and their 3 children, Aiden, Levi, and Ellie. I thank each of you for your continued service to the Army and the nation. Brandon may be new to the Garrison leadership, but he is no stranger to demanding the very best from soldiers in his footprint. His lifetime of service to this nation has equipped him to uphold Army values and keep the Garrison aligned with senior commanders' lines of effort. Most importantly, he will lead by example, showing what it means to put people first. He will oversee the safety, security, and well-being of the soldiers, civilians, families that live, work, and play on Fort Belvoir. So Command Sergeant Major Creel, I'm eager for you to help take Fort Belvoir to the next level. And with you on the team, we will succeed. So let's get to work. Thank you all for attending this special occasion. People first, be all you can be, leaders in excellence.
Thank you, Colonel Stewart. Ladies and gentlemen, now the outgoing Garrison Command Sergeant Major Daniel Hopkins.
Good evening. Good morning. I planned to put together this big speech about numbers, people, and I didn't. So, first and foremost, I want to thank our Lord and Savior. If it wasn't for Him, I couldn't be here. We couldn't be here. He has blessed me abundantly with all of my opportunities. I didn't go into all of those numbers because they don't really matter. What matters is the people that are out here right now and everybody who supported me during these last 3 years throughout my transitions. I feel like I've stood up here and done this speech 5 times. Maybe I have. But it's been phenomenal each and every time. The opportunity to provide impact to those that work, live, and play on this installation has been phenomenal. stepping away from the JAG Corps wasn't easy. Focusing on just paralegals and just their families. And then I come over and I'm learning about dealing with HRC for all these other different MOSs. Talking to HRC about, hey, where can soldiers move here that aren't on my TDA if I don't have that position? Working with TAB whenever they have personnel who can come and support us, working with the SRU, working with all these different agencies, and all the while also looking at the families, where at a battalion or another brigade, you're focused on your brigade's mission, and those soldiers within your brigade. At a garrison, you're responsible for every organization, not just that one that you're wearing a patch for. And the impact that I've been able to have, the support I've been able to provide to families has been so filling for me personally. And that's why I really enjoy being a Garrison Command Sergeant Major. Going to a couple thank yous. I can't thank everybody or I'd be here literally all day. And I would still miss some people. So if I don't thank you personally, by name, it's not because I don't appreciate everything you did. It's just I don't want to keep everybody here until tomorrow. Each directorate, DHR, DES, all the directorates, working with you and learning about the different intricacies of the support each of you provide to the installation, to the families, friends, and retirees for the area. Numbers around 250,000 people that we service. 250,000 people between active service members. Because we're the largest non-joint base. With all the different services that are here, with all the different retirees in the area, it's a lot. And the directorates, your focus on that and helping me understand how to navigate that. I appreciate everything, and I appreciate the experience and knowledge I'll take away. A couple specific people. First Sergeant Baldwin, you came in running. I remember our first conversation, looking for a new first sergeant. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I picked the right person. You were up at HRC, and then you called me and asked for, hey, what about me? I didn't think I was going to, nope, I already have my first sergeant. God had different plans, and you knew it. You hit the ground running, and I see the passion that you have for soldiers every day. Not just in what you do, but what I see them do, and how I see them follow you, and how I see them look up to you. Thank you for always being there and taking care of soldiers. Colonel Messina, Heather, I appreciate you guys. It has been phenomenal time. Whenever I was serving with you, sir, it was just awesome to have your support as a commander, both whenever I was a battalion and then whenever I was your battle buddy. It was awesome. Heather, your care and concern for soldiers goes without anything I can describe. And to have you here today means the world. Thank you so much. All my Sergeant Major battle buddies that came from all the way down from Bragg, came from APG, my brother. I appreciate all you guys. It means a lot that you guys took the time out of your schedule to make your way here. It means the world to me that this was important for you guys. It just shows how much our friendship means to each and every one of you. Even the retirees, like Donnie, Novelet, I can't appreciate you guys much. She was my drill sergeant in basic training, or AIT. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Rick and Justine, I can't go into everything you guys have done for my family, especially as of late. And I know that we will continue to stay in touch, and I appreciate everything more than I'll ever be able to describe. Thank you so much. My family. Last, definitely not least, after 20 years of doing this, and the multiple deployments and everything, I think, hey, I'm coming to Garrison, I'm not gonna deploy. I'm gonna be here, I'm always gonna be at all you guys' events, never gonna miss a beat, and that wasn't the case. You had to continue to split your dad with everything else I had going on. Sometimes late night phone calls for a house being flooded or a ceiling collapsing, power outages. You guys missed me at a lot of dinner tables because of different events that we had going on. But you guys have always been there and you guys have always supported me. And I am able to do what I do because I look back at you guys and I see you guys standing strong. And I will never be able to thank you guys enough. And I look forward to continuing to give opportunities and take you guys places, and I know that you guys are going to continue to support me. That's also for Ariel and Ayala. I miss you guys so much. I know you guys are doing great things. Ariel, I'm sure you're probably chasing Stevie Grace right now. But I miss you guys so much, and I definitely appreciate everything from you guys, and I'll never be able to thank you enough. Brendan, man, you are coming in to a brand new world. Garrison, I mean, it's been said, Garrison's like no other place, no other command. I don't know if they've ever put an infantry person at Belvoir, but they've got a lot to learn. You're going to hit the ground running. You're going to do great. You're an improvement, and you're going to take this Garrison to places I couldn't take, and I know it. You're going to enjoy it. Lean heavily on your civilian workforce. I will tell you that's what took me a long time, was realizing not the worth of the civilians, but what they can do. Because we are so used to green supers. Like, hey, I'm just going to tell them to do something, and well, it's a little different, but they have a wealth of knowledge because they don't move as much. So, it's going to be awesome. Well, with that, this is Eagle 7 signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Garrison Command Sergeant Major, United States Army Garrison, Fort Belvoir, Command Sergeant Major Brandon Creel.
Good morning, General Brinkamp, Command Sergeant Major Daly, Command Sergeant Major Love, commanders, fellow Command Sergeants Major, as well as distinguished guests, soldiers, civilians, families, and the Fort Belvoir community. I'm deeply honored to serve you as your Garrison Command Sergeant Major. My wife couldn't make it here today. We're a little bit split. She's still up in Alaska. She's a teacher with Anchorage School District. A thankless job, but more specifically what she does for our family. She keeps me upright. I think out of any job, this job is going to be the best one because she has seen good service and she has seen that. We've gone through the trials and tribulations, and I think that she is going to provide me a perspective and counsel, okay, that is only going to benefit the community. She's an amazing partner. She's an amazing mother. She might be watching, or she might be teaching a class right now, but I just need to emphasize to her how much she means. Colonel Stewart, the last several weeks it's been a privilege to observe your leadership. You lead with grace, compassion, and professionalism. Thank you for entrusting me with this incredible opportunity to serve Fort Belvoir. Your leadership and vision set the standard, and I'm committed to upholding it. To Command Sergeant Major Hopkins, thank you for the warm welcome, okay, the kind words. I'm not an improvement. I will do my best to emulate just a small portion of what you did. If I can achieve 10%, I'm uncomfortable with that. Fort Belvoir Fort Belvoir is truly the cornerstone of our Army's mission. I didn't know Fort Belvoir. As I got here, I realized how important it is. This is the only place I've been in the Army where you can be stationed at one place, live at another, and work at another. But the point is that everybody chooses Fort Belvoir to be its home. This is the location of choice. This is the home of choice for everyone who works within the entire NCR region. I'm committed to upholding the high standards of service, professionalism, and resilience that Sergeant Major Hopkins forged. Congratulations on your next assignment. Korea is an amazing place. It's Fort Belvoir's loss, but it's their game. I'm excited for what they're getting. I'm excited for the opportunities that you have in the culture, taking the Fort Belvoir culture, taking it to Korea, and just continuing to spread excellence throughout the Army. I know it's a little out of order, but I can't escape the irony or the opportunity. General Breedenkamp and Command Sergeant Major Daly. Even though I just said really nice things about Korea, I enjoyed my time in Korea, but I consider my first unit in the Army to be the 82nd. And General Breedenkamp was there. He didn't know Private Creel. He doesn't remember our first conversation, but instantly I was impressed. I had not experienced excellence. So I am incredibly honored and excited to work for you again, to serve you and support your mission, our mission. But it's interesting that it's bookended, if that's a word, by Command Sergeant Major Daly. Command Sergeant Major Daly was my Command Sergeant Major in Alaska, so I only missed you for a few months. It was definitely felt. Command Sergeant Major Daly is one of the finest NCOs, one of the finest humans, one of the finest leaders I've met in the Army. And to see the excellence, get the opportunity to serve with you, be mentored by you, just to bask in like the excellence that's here, it fills me with pride for the opportunity to serve one more time. But most importantly, you heard the commander, you heard Command Sergeant Major Hopkins. In the time that I've been here, I've been truly impressed from every engagement. I have never met a team so complete with passion and commitment to trying to, we talk about world-class service, we talk about service culture. I got the opportunity to go to the Garrison PCC, speak with the MCOM commanders and directors, and the definitions that they gave us what excellence is. Okay, that's Fort Belvoir, that's this team. We talked about good experiences and bad experiences. I can't imagine a team so complete that even the worst experience here is the best experience at other locations that I've been to. This is truly an impressive team. To Team Belvoir, together we'll face challenges, support one another, and strengthen our community. Your unwavering commitment to excellence is unmatched, and I mean that. It's because of your resilience and professionalism that this base thrives as the cornerstone of our Army. I pledge to lead with integrity, listen with purpose, and serve with unwavering dedication to you, our servicemen and women, our veterans, our families, and the greater Fairfax community. You're all the heartbeat of this installation. Together we'll continue to make Fort Belvoir the go-to place of pride, readiness, and community. Be all you can be, support and defend, leaders in excellence. Eagle 7 signing on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of the Army song. The lyrics are on the back page of your program. On behalf of the Garrison Commander, Fort Belvoir, Colonel David Stewart, and the Garrison Command Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Brandon Creel, we thank you for your attendance at today's Change of Responsibilities ceremony. Command Sergeant Major Hopkins will receive friends and well-wishers in front of the stage. Command Sergeant Major Creel will host a reception in the command conference room in the headquarters building directly following the ceremony. Thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.